what kind of risks are people running by not looking into their childhood a little bit, not looking at the events that may have caused them to develop certain traits? What risks are they running long term?
Well, as it relates to the issue that we're focused on a bit here, um, the best predictor of whether you'll be in a relationship that's where there's domestic violence is whether or not you grew up living in it. So that is the best predictor of it. Um, if you believe that, let's say, as an example, if you believe um, that you're resentful, you're not going to have a lot of compassion. So when you start parenting, compassion is really an essential an essential trait to have. So you might want to challenge that, right? If you really believe, look, I'm just a resentful type person, you might believe that you are, but it's also very understandable that those who have suffered understand suffering, and those who have suffered want to help take the pain away. And now all of a sudden that slight shift is, wow, maybe I'm more compassionate than I thought. Maybe I can bring that compassion to my children.
So, because I remember I did mention that would be hard for some people to do this. Like you said, your tool, it's easy to use, but it's also difficult to open up and think like that. Should we maybe, people that do want to do that or are curious about it, should we maybe take ourselves out of the situation a little bit, look down the line, look at future partners or children, grandchildren? Should we look and maybe do it for their benefit?
That's an that's a really empowering way to look at it. It's an empowering way to look at it. I think the other question to ask oneself is, if there are gaps in your life between where you want to be and where you are, those gaps, if your thoughts are unpleasant a lot of the time, you don't quite know why. If your mind is always talking and much of what it says is, you know, is not peaceful, to for to say it kindly. There's something that I read by an author, and it said, I found that when I believed my thoughts, I suffered, and when I didn't believe my thoughts, I didn't suffer, and that's available to every human being who walks the earth. And I read that, and I'm like, oh my God, can I have that? Where's that? Where is that elixir? Where is that? What is that? I want that. And I went through the book and I couldn't find it. But I did wind up finding it through this work. Meaning, if you happen to have the ability to answer yes to this question, which is, did you grow up in a home where, you in a childhood home where you faced some trauma in that home? Yes or no? It's not about who to blame and who not to blame. It's for you. If the answer to the question is yes, then the answer to that other question is found in this work. And that is why one should want to engage in it, for that peace of mind, to close the gaps between where they are and where they want to be. And yes, to your good point, not just for themselves, but for all of those they love around them.